The Last of Us Part 2 is a gritty, dark tale of revenge, but that doesn't mean a post-apocalyptic America isn't full of a ton of Easter eggs, awesome details and unexpected references. Here's 14 brilliant little details we've spotted so far. Warning, there's gonna be spoilers. Infected aren't the only threats in Seattle, and you'll often find yourself face to face with the WLF, also known as wolves. What may appear to be faceless fodder though, actually turn out to be a tight group of friends, each with their own names, relationships, and pain to suffer when one of their nearest and dearest is brutally executed by Ellie. Seems Naughty Dog aren't satisfied with you mowing down NPCs guilt-free anymore, and are determined to make you feel like utter crap after you send an arrow straight into Alan's face. Their friends go beyond two legs too. Many of the WLF bring their loyal dog companions along for the journey, and understandably their reactions are amplified when their pet pooch is unceremoniously murked.
No. Somebody got my dog!
Like the wolves, these lovable mutts have names as well, doubling down on the guilt you feel when sending an arrow directly into Bear and into its owner's heart.
That way! It came from that way!
It's not all doom and gloom for the lovable canines though. The Last of Us Part 2 offers you several occasions to not only pet a dog, but even play catch with them.
Oh, hey there, Bear.
Although I've just noticed that this dog is called Bear, and well... now I feel horrible again. Brilliant. For collectible hunters like myself, the open area in downtown Seattle has a very helpful feature. After exploring a building, Ellie will only strike a line through an area of the map once you've looted every key item. She'll also even verbally mention that there's nothing left,
I think we got everything here.
letting you know you're free to carry on exploring without the fear of missing an important item. The Last of Us Part 2 is littered with fake bands, movies and comic books, but hidden amongst all the parody is actually a legitimate poster for Pearl Jam's album, Lightning Bolt, a record due to release on October 11, 2013, 2 weeks after the game's fictional outbreak day. Also on the album is the track Future Days, Ellie and Joel's song you'll hear and play several times during the game.
If I ever were to lose you, I'd surely lose myself.
Besides Future Days, Ellie can also play a-ha's 80s classic Take On Me. And at several points you'll also have the option to practice on a guitar. Unlike the scripted scenes though, you can now select several different chord configurations and spend hours attempting to play some of your favourite tunes. Looking for some inspiration? Well, if you fancy another 80s banger, let's just say you can bless the rains down in Africa. Oh, I'm so sorry, that was terrible. Even though the outbreak was in 2013, fortunately for our characters, the PlayStation Vita came out in 2011, and you'll definitely notice one being played by Whitney just before visiting the hospital. What you might not notice though is the game being played is none other than cult classic Hotline Miami, with the iconic sound still blasting long after she's dead. There's no missing this moment, but there's a follow-up that you potentially could. Once Abby reaches the forward base, before following Manny into the tent, be sure to approach Whitney in the right corner to be treated to some extra Hotline Miami chat.
That game good? Really hard, but really good. Got some great tunes too.
The PS Vita isn't the only gaming relic to be featured in The Last of Us Part 2. In Ellie's room, the eagle-eyed will spot the original fat PS3 along with a copy of the Jak and Daxter collection, and later on, you can get a clearer view of both Uncharted and Uncharted 2. Copies of the games lying around isn't the only Uncharted Easter egg. At the bank in downtown Seattle, be sure to enter the vault and explore right into the upper right corner. Tucked away in a drawer, you'll find Sir Francis Drake's ring, engravings and all, that Nathan Drake wears around his neck.
Cool.
There's one more Uncharted reference to find, and it's in the chapter Hostile Territory. At one point you'll notice a store called King Street Relics, but with no obvious entrance point. Be sure to work your way around through the top floor of the adjacent store, and tucked into the corner before you drop down the hole will be the strange Relic. A very familiar object to Naughty Dog fans, as not only is it the precursor orb from Jak and Daxter, but it's also been a collectible in every Uncharted game. And before I finally move on from Naughty Dog references, there's one more in the shape of a Jak X Combat Racing arcade cabinet in the Flooded City section. Something that Ellie previously enjoyed in the first game's DLC, Left Behind.
Ellie crosses the finish line!
Remember where you found the Uncharted ring? Well, in that same vault, Ellie and Dina will have a conversation about a movie with...
The one with the surfer bank robbers.
In case you don't know, they're actually describing the 1991 Keanu Reeves and Patrick Swayze classic, Point Break, and prove that these girls have excellent taste in movies.
Oh yeah, love that movie.
Ellie and Dina aren't the only movie buffs. When visiting the Wyoming Museum of Science and History, Joel will constantly refer back to Jurassic Park if you find the right prompts. He mentions things like the film's questionable depiction of velociraptors.
This is the one you were talking about, the velociraptor?
So small. Well, don't trust the movies, I guess.
His knowledge of birds evolving from dinosaurs being from the film.
I happen to know a thing or two.
From a movie.
And even brings up the not as good sequel.
See, there's a sequel. Wasn't as good.
He also quotes Jeff Goldblum's famous line,
That is one big pile of shit.
although he does say mound instead of pile, thus triggering all pedantic Jurassic Park nerds like myself.
Actually, one of the guys said, that's a big mound of shit.
Sort it out, Joel. And one last movie buff is the deceased but often discussed Eugene, although his movie selection veers a little more towards the adult persuasion. After entering Eugene's drug-infested basement, be sure to go to the left before picking up the jar to experience a questionable, Naughty Dog-based adult film parody.
Smash Brandy's cooch. Are these? It's porn. Interesting taste, Eugene.
And that's it. 14 of the coolest details and Easter eggs we found in The Last of Us Part 2. Did we miss anything? Let us know in the comments, and for more on The Last of Us Part 2, why not check out these videos.